Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann and welcome to a Flossy Friday. Today is February 12th, 2021, and the cats are doing great. If you've been on my Instagram lately, you will probably have noticed that in my stories and in my posts, whenever I'm not posting about cross stitch, I'm posting about these two. They are obsessed with each other. It is sickeningly sweet. And I am sorry if you need to go to the dentist after this video. But they're just too cute. And anyways, so Potter's doing fantastic. Stella's doing fantastic. Stella is getting very long. She is very slinky-like, but she is also still somewhere between 3 pounds and 3.5 pounds. It is what it is. So what have I worked on this week and what is all over my stitching table, my area, my coffee table, but it's where I stitch and I live alone, so who cares? Okay, so I just have the same projects pooled that I want to make priorities to finish in the upcoming like weeks and months. Now, I'm just making sure that they keep this PG-13. Actually, no, PG. Okay, and we don't need the 13. Okay, buddy, lay down. Oh, you're gonna go somewhere else. Okay. I don't know what that was all about. Do you want it? Here you go. All right, so anyways, I have the same projects out. Sorry, there's something in my eye. I have the same projects out that I've had out. I have Love Notes, which I had pulled the leftover crystal confetti fabric from my stash, and I think I'd rather do it on coffee tea dyed, and I have some 14 count Aida that is white that I could do that with. So I think I don't really want to stitch them on 14 count, but I also don't care if I stitch them on 14 count. I think they'd still be really cute. And 14 count is not a bad count to stitch on. So I think that's something that I'm going to do this weekend. So Love Notes is something that I want to start on Sunday. I don't know which one of the 4 or 5 patterns, are there 6 or there 7? I don't know. I can't count. There's like 4 to like 6 patterns in that pack. I don't know which one I want to start with. But I am tonight or tomorrow going to coffee tea dye the fabric to start those on Sunday. I think it would be really fun to start those on Valentine's Day. So next week you'll get a nice new start bundle, maybe a couple of small finishes because some of them, they're very small, most of them. I still have Witches of Salem out next to me on my table. I still have Christmas Rules. And I still have my All Around Texas that I would love to work on. But I have been making Fruit of the Month a priority. And that has not changed. So last week I was very close to finishing the second half. I think last week all I had left was the pomegranate of the bottom 6 fruits. So here it is. This is on an 18 count piece of Picture This Plus in Whirlpool. And this pattern is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is their very first SAL that they ever did, the Fruit of the Month Club. And they actually, funny enough, announced today their 2021 SAL, and it's something about like bakery, cozy cafe drinks or something. It's not something that I'm personally interested in. It does look really cute, so go check out their social medias on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, which I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I know that they've posted it there, but it's on Instagram. They've put up some sneak peeks. It looks really cute. It's just not for me. But it releases on Monday. So just so you know, their 2021 SAL had been postponed a couple of times, the releasing, because of being able to get materials for their kits and stuff, but it is releasing on Monday. So go check that out. But so pomegranate is officially done, and I love this. And I thought maybe after the pomegranate, I was like, maybe I'll set up where the second row where everything goes and kind of like get that going. And then I just couldn't put it down. I worked on this all week except for yesterday, Thursday. So far this year, I have given this 10 days of work, okay? And I finished all of the words down here, finished the kumquats, finished the pomegranate, and there was not much done on either of those. But in the last week, since you last saw it, I have finished the cherries, I finished the raspberries, and I have set up the locations for the lemons, the kiwis, the orange, and the grapefruit. So this is the top half of fruit of the month. Oopsies. I have been skipping around because the citrus fruit especially are really big, like the pomegranate. They are massive. They are about like roughly between like 1,300 to 1,500 solid stitches of giant circles of oranges and yellows. So like all the colors in this one are in this one and in this one, and then there's additional colors. So a lot of the citrus colors are left, and then random kiwi, right, with like brown and green. So I did decide, so this is how far I got. So super cute. The cherries are done. I've got a really good start on the orange with that nice blossom up at the top. My cute little sour grapefruit slice. We're working on a lemon wedge and a lemon. Cute little raspberries. He's sad for whatever reason. He must be one of the tart ones. You know, they aren't all sweet. And then we have the start of our kiwi slice outline. I have loved working on this, and I just needed a small break. So I worked on this a little bit through Thursday to lunch. And then last night, I was like, I'm going to get something else out. So last night, tonight, and Saturday, I'm going to be giving love to my first Haid. Okay, so that's it for the Frosted Pumpkins fruit of the month for now. So this next week, like I said, I'm going to be working on my Haid through Saturday nonstop. That's what I'm going to be working on. I'm trying to get this, the rest of the black on my page 1 finished. And if I can tackle that, then I'm going to try and work more on my page 3, which is a big chunk of her face, and try and finish that page so that way I can start another like mostly black page to work on that as like whenever I need like mindless stitching, and then start what my 4th page is going to be, which is going to be row 4, page 4, and it's like the clavicle down here. So I don't mind showing you this page because it's one of 42 and it's all black. So if you really wanted to stitch 8,000 black squares, go for it, right? So everything in the pink over here is what I stitched last night, and I am currently working on closing this in. And then I have this big section which you can very visibly see. So I got 704 stitches in last night. So this is 704 stitches. So we're gonna see how much I can get done tonight, but this is where my page 1 is. It goes further up, but I'm trying to close this section in, and then I will start working on this. My page 2 is fully finished, so this page is completely done. And then this is where my page 3 is. So my goal for this weekend, for sure, is to finish my page 1, and if anything, start my next mostly black page, like getting it like outlined, right? So that way I can do a lot of mindless stitching. But once that is set up, I would love to finish this page. I still have, I don't want to say like a fair amount, but like I probably have maybe 500 stitches or less on this page. But there's a lot of scattered stitching that you can't really see. There you can see there are some big chunks on a couple of places, but I'm trying to get another page finished. Then my next one will go here. So yeah, that is where my Haid currently is. This Haid is called Nothing Will Save Me, and I'm stitching it on an 18 count piece of Aida. It was white, but because this pattern is right at 50% 310, and there's a long running joke with that, but somehow, like, how did I randomly pick one that was just solid pages of 310? And I can't get rid of them because like they're like in the top of like where at the bottom is like her arm or something. So it's not like I would have to cut out part of her, and I don't want to do that. So anyways, so that's kind of been like the joke for like the longest time. I've picked a lot. I stitch a lot of patterns that have an excessive amount of 310, honestly. And so it was just kind of like the joke, like, people would tag me in things that were like all silhouettes or something like that in 310. I'd be like, Kelly, perfect for you. You love stitching 310. So I should have bought a cone for this, honestly, but I didn't. But, anyways, that's where she's currently at. Her final size on this count fabric is going to be, right around 25 inches by 35 inches. It's going to be bigger than most of the paintings in my home. It's gonna be crazy. So that's what I have going on with that. The other really cool thing is that, so I was talking with Cassie last night. We were actually working on our Haids together, which, so excited for her. She got a page finish. I'm really excited about that, and hopefully I can join her today with a page finish on this one. That would be nice. It might not be today, but maybe tomorrow. But I now have, if you've been around for any length of time, you know that I am actively obsessed with pivot tables and creating Excel spreadsheets to track my stitching, to track how many pages out of how many pages I've done, to know about what percentage I'm done with a project, to like keeping track of what my whips are, what months I finished them in, if they've been FFO'd, if they haven't been FFO'd. I keep track of my threads, and like, to say that I overly excel and pivot table things is kind of maybe an understatement. But I now have Excel spreadsheets for my Haids. And I now know how many stitches I have left of this Haid. And I'm gonna keep track of, so I'm not a keep track of your stitches. I don't participate in those counting your stitches groups, but I think with Haids, it does allow you to notice and see that you are achieving some progress because they are so massive. And I don't have access to Pattern Keeper, so this is kind of like motivating me. I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks getting her out and just like having her set at least on like one of the mostly black pages to at least, if anything, I can do like some chunks of mindless 310 fill in, right? I mean, I have, oh gosh, I don't even remember, like 9,800 stitches left that are, or no, not 9,800, 98,000 stitches left that are just 310 in this pattern. And so it's a lot. So, compared to like the 250,000 I still have, right? So, I want to keep track better of some of that. And so I now have an Excel spreadsheet for this Haid. I have an Excel spreadsheet for my Titanic, which Titanic, fun enough, only has like 36,000 stitches left, which makes it sound way, I mean, it still sounds crazy stressful, but it sounds way less crazy stressful. Whenever like the original project was 80 something thousand, but since I cut out some of like the scenic view, I only have like 36,000 or something left. So, it makes it seem way more obtainable. Also, last week or the week before, there was a sale, and I bought a new Haid pattern. It's one that I've wanted for a really long time, and about a year ago it came out in a mini version. So I removed the full-size version from my wish list and I put in the mini version, and while they were having their big sale, I went ahead and bought it because I just really, really like it. And in a video about a month, maybe it was in December, so maybe 2 months ago, I showed those paintings that with the quilt I want to get reframed because they used to be framed. And one of them is a magnolia flower. Well, this is a magnolia flower, and it's similar. It's different, but it's similar. But I love magnolias so much that I'm like, I could have the painted version, I could have a stitched version. I have one in my backyard, I have one in my front yard. I love magnolias. Like, it's a southern thing, okay? Like, we like our magnolias down here. And so, anyways, so I went ahead and I got it, and that's going to be being started. I don't know exactly when, but I think it would be fun to do it in tint stitch and try the 25 count easy grid. So that's going to be being started at some point, and I forget how many stitches it is, but it's somewhere between like 75,000 and 80,000. So, again, it is what it is. But, and I think the finished size is like 14 by like, it's basically like 14 by 10. I think it's like 14 and 9 3/4, but pretty close. So, anyways, I'm used to making these plans of, this is what I'm going to work on this month, this is what I'm going to get done, and then I get discouraged, it doesn't happen, the pile gets put away because my thoughts of what I want to work on kind of like shift and change, right? Because, well, that's what I wanted to work on, it didn't happen, whatever, I'll move on, this is what I want to work on this month, because there was like a year I tried to give myself like themes. There was a year that I've tried a couple different methods. This is the first year so far that what is in the pile, I am still super excited to work on. Now, I know that maybe I should like mix it up a little bit more. And I was going to this last week. Like, I was going to finish the pomegranate, set up the next row, and then move on to another project to give myself a break. But as I was setting up the next row, I just kept on getting sucked in to, I don't want to put down the fruits. I don't want to put down the fruits. But the last couple of days, I have been a little drained on the citrusy colors, and I needed to put in a break because I've been telling myself and in my head, I want to start the Love Notes collection on the 14th. I just think it'd be really fun to start on Sunday on Valentine's Day. And so I know that was going to happen. So I was like, since I'm getting a little drained, I had gone to a stopping point and I was like, I should pull out my Haid because I've been wanting to pull out my Haid. So what I'm thinking of doing, I think once again, she's going to become a permanent fixture on the other corner. And I'm going to try to maybe not every day, but a couple of days a week, putting in some amount of stitches. Maybe not always necessarily giving her time on a page that's like a body part, because majority of the 310, let's be fair, it's the background and it's 50% of my Haid, so there's a lot of background. So, but if anything, working on taking out some of these full pages of 310 or like big chunks of pages that are mostly 310. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So what I'm thinking is at least a couple days a week, I will give like an hour to 2 hours of working on some of this fill-in, getting some stitches into my Haid, dedicating a weekend to this Haid, and on those dedicated weekends, working on one of the pages, like the face page or the page with the clavicle, not a background, right? Background is going to be like my lunch break, right? For my lunch break, I'm going to stitch as many stitches in black as I can on the background. That's simple. But like on the dedicated weekend, I will work on a page that has more than just black on it. You know what I mean? Like confetti or big chunks of color that make up, you know, like her dress. I can't wait to get to her dress, honestly. I'm so excited for that. So that kind of thing, her hair, the veil, all that kind of stuff. So, I think you get what I'm saying. I'm being very wordy. Like words are escaping me today. I woke up with a migraine. It is what it is. I feel much better, but I did wake up with a migraine. So I just a little bit of like brain fogginess, I guess. But I also want to give time to my Titanic piece, because I don't feel like I can start the Magnolia until I've given more time to both of my current Haids. So I also want to maybe for like the next month or two, give time to my Titanic piece a weekend a month, to get some good work done on it, and then I can incorporate the new one in like a month or two, maybe 3, then the next couple of months, give some Titanic some love, then bring in the Magnolia, keep her the main Haid priority, and like maybe like every other month work on my minis, because my Titanic is the mini, the Magnolia will be the mini. See what I'm saying? So that might be kind of fun. So that's kind of where I'm at. The other thing is, and I've mentioned this to a couple of people, I think I've talked about it with Amanda, Heather, and Cassie, and I think Emily and a couple other people, but I'm possibly going to do another Ditch the Stitch this summer. I already kind of feel like I could do one, and I did one only 2 months ago. Right now, I currently have 57 whips, and that's not including the Love Note stuff or the Magnolia, because obviously I have not started them yet. But I have 57 whips. I have 4 finishes for this year, but I keep on working on big stuff. So I'm not really, if I don't have, you know, like almost 50 finishes like last year, this year, but I have a bunch of really big older finishes, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? And like a lot of Haid progress, I'm gonna be a-okay with that. But what I'm thinking is that there are just some that the more I think about them, I don't really want to do them anymore. I don't really want to do them. A couple of them I feel like are now maybe bad juju, and I don't really want them in my house. But as much as I love the pattern, I don't have a desire to finish it. I don't have a desire to display it anywhere in my home, even if it's just holiday seasonal, basically, because a couple of them are seasonal. And so I have 10 that I have highlighted on my list that are on the chopping block. So this is kind of what I do. Whenever I feel like something's on the chopping block, I highlight it and I just like keep it in the back of my mind that like whenever I get through some of these and I'm like starting to think about like, oh, what else, what am I gonna pull out next to add to this pile to be like the next in the works, like I wanna work on you soon pile kind of a thing. As I'm scrolling, I see if my brain goes to any of those in red. And if it does, then, you know, putting it on that list made me go, no, I really do want to work on that, right? But if that doesn't happen, then the next time I do a ditch the stitch, it's gone. But I have about, I don't know, it's between like 10 and like 12 or something. I know I for sure have 10 on the list, but I think I have a few more. But yes. So I have a couple of things on the chopping block that may not be around much longer, and I don't know, some of them I may want to give away like I did last time. Some of them I may not, because I really do like the fabric, so I'm gonna pick it all out. I'm not really sure. So I'm not going into all of that because it hasn't happened yet, right? So anyways, that's really exciting because the Excel documents to keep track of my what's left of my stitching and how much progress I'm going to be making over the next months on these, and watching those numbers go down, because I don't have a tablet that can do pattern keepers. So kind of trying to do it old school a little bit. It's motivating me, and like seeing, like plugging those in and seeing it, it's really making me be like, you know, if I really did, because I've been saying it for years, I need to give her more love. But if I actually really did, it's not as unattainable as it sometimes feels like. And part of it with this one is how much 310 there is. So that's why I'm trying to make specifically the full pages of 310 a priority over some of the other ones. Yes, I want to work on those. Yes, I want to start those. But the more daunting side of this pattern, oh, and then this is the cover for it, by the way. The most daunting side of this is like all of this is all just solid pages. It's beautiful. It's going to be amazing. But whenever you like think about that, it is a little daunting. I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot. It's a lot of 310. It's a lot of black, solid black stitching. I told Cassie last night, I feel like I'm just stitching a black hole. Like literally. I'm stitching into the abyss. And it feels never ending. But like the smaller this got, you know, like once I got to about here, I actually was like, oh, I can see the progress. Even though I'd already stitched like maybe like 250, I could finally see the progress. Like it didn't feel so much like a black hole anymore. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with all of that. And he's way over there, but we'll get a little Stella goodbye. But that's the plans. Are you going to say goodbye? You want to say hi? Come here. Say hello to everyone. You're like, I'm tired. Why do you keep on moving me? But that's like my plans is I'm still working on this stack, but I do want to give some priority to the Haid, and I do want to start the Brenda Gervais love notes this weekend. And I got a notification today that my Easter minis are on their way, so I'll get those sometime next week. So those will get started probably in March or maybe at the end of this month. I don't know, but anyways, bye from all of us. I hope that everybody has a great weekend and also has a great week, and I will see y'all next Friday. Bye, guys.